Right now on Apple Valley News Now, live at 6, shelter-in-place ordered for much of the day in one part of Yakima after a fire breaks out at a popular tire center. This comes as a deadly fire hits Toppenish this morning. Plus,
in your opinion, was this something that was preventable?
Well, sure it is. I mean, public safety should be the priority of every entity.
the town of Mabton is now without a police force. How the mayor is connected to this sudden change. Emily Goodell's on that story. Also,
oh, he's your typical brother.
Going one-on-one with the brother of a man killed in an uptown shooting in Richland, our Riley Fitzgerald has those details. Later,
I just think the decisions from past councils have put us on a path.
The city of Pasco, among other local cities, facing budget shortfalls. Why one councilman is not happy with that. And Stacy is here.
And a live look outside with mostly clear skies, but that's not the case for the entire night. I'll tell you all about it coming up.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6 on your side.
And a very good evening. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. It's December the 10th, and I'm Austin Reed. Right off the top, the Yakima Valley Office of Emergency Management issuing a shelter-in-place order for anyone in the area of the fire at the Les Schwab Tire Center on 1st Street in Yakima. Emergency officials issued that order just before noon as a precautionary measure due to burning content. They even asked anyone in the surrounding area to turn off HVAC systems and seal all doors and windows. Now, that order has since been lifted. Firefighters were first called to the scene at about 6:30 this morning. No word just yet on how the fire started. And we have a deadly fire in Toppenish to tell you about. Just before 6 this morning, Yakima County Fire District 5 arrived to a camp trailer on fire. This on the 8,000 block of LaRue Road. This is in the Toppenish area. Firefighters say the trailer was fully involved with flames venting from all sides and the roof. 2 people made it out, but 1 person did not. The fire was quickly knocked down, but firefighters did locate a body within the trailer. Officials say one of the occupants was using candles to heat the trailer, but it is still unknown what exactly caused that blaze. We are preparing for a change in our weather, so let's get right to First Alert. Stacy Lee joining us live with a first look at our forecast. Hey, Stacy, what's happening?
Well, kind of a change, Austin. It's the fog and freezing fog, which it seems like the norm, right? And we do have a freezing fog advisory listed for all the areas in green, from Dayton to Pilot Rock, all the way down the Columbia River Gorge, Kittitas Valley. But don't doubt that we'll see some freezing fog here. Our reporter coming out of Yakima tonight thought it was snowing. We're going to call that aggressive freezing fog tonight in the Yakima area. So visibility at 4 miles there. It's pretty good down the valley, and then you get along the foothills of the Blues. They are socked in, and we'll continue to see that. Here's what it looks like outside on our Legends Casino Skycam. 33 degrees. Visibility in Tri-Cities really good. Winds are light at 7 miles per hour. Our sunset was earlier at 4:10. Temperatures elsewhere around the area chilly. Look at that. We're down in the 20s and 30s all through the region. Here's what's ahead. Again, the fog and freezing fog through the region. Cloudy and overcast once again tomorrow. We're ramping up for some mountain snow late Wednesday all the way through Sunday. And could we see a rain snow mix here in the lower elevations? I'll tell you all about it coming up. Austin?
All right, Stacy, thank you. Well, the city of Mabton's only remaining police officer turned in his resignation on Monday after refusing to give the mayor unsupervised access to the police department building. But as Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us, they won't be allowed to finish out the remaining 2 weeks, leaving the city with no police officer.
The city of Mabton has been well aware for weeks that Officer Ryan Sullivan planned to leave the department. But as multiple sources told me, when she received his resignation Monday, she told him to get out. Former Mabton Police Chief Eduardo Garcia says he was on the phone with Officer Sullivan on Monday morning when the mayor, with a locksmith in tow, demanded unsupervised access to the police building, which she isn't authorized to do.
When he mentioned these concerns to the mayor and said, I can't let you in because of XYZ, and access can possibly is going to be lost.
Years ago, he says a previous administration allowed unauthorized employees access to the police building, prompting the state to revoke the department's access to their online policing systems for over a year. But after hearing Officer Sullivan's concerns, the mayor still wanted the keys.
The locksmith and the mayor, they said, well, we'll just come when he's not here.
Soon after, Officer Sullivan gave his 2 weeks notice, noting he'd accepted a job with the West Richland Police Department and that his final day would be on December 23rd. Hours later, he got a letter from the mayor accepting his resignation, but telling him to give back all city-issued equipment immediately and hand over all of his ongoing work to some other agency.
It was saying that, we want you to leave now.
Garcia says it was behavior like that from the mayor that prompted him to retire earlier than he had planned.
The other thing I had a big issue with is she directed Officer Sullivan, without going through me, the chief of police at the time, and directed him to start writing tickets in an effort to generate more money for the city.
Garcia says Officer Sullivan contacted him immediately, and he reported it to the county prosecutor's office.
After that, I told her I never want to hear this ever again come out of your mouth. And so the whole time that I was there, we never wrote a ticket for the purpose of generating money for the city.
Garcia says since he's left, she's continued to make decisions without thinking of the consequences.
She had a tough time controlling her emotions. I know, in some city council settings, I believe the public got to witness it firsthand of how she loses her temper quickly.
You don't tell me you, Maria.
A lot of the employees there would fear her, and nobody would tell her that simply because of the fear factor. So a lot of the employees there were always afraid to say the wrong thing around her, and it was a very tough environment to work with.
This year alone saw Garcia's retirement, the sergeant's exit, and now Officer Sullivan's, leaving the citizens of Mabton without a police department. And the Yakima County Sheriff's Office, already spread thin, having to pick up the pieces.
We're not set up to just have a systemic failure in one of our cities. We all have to step up and do our part so we have a balanced response.
The sheriff says Mabton hasn't done their part.
In your opinion, was this something that was preventable?
Well, sure it is. Public safety should be the priority of every entity. And in this case, it slipped off the table.
Short term, Mabton will only receive limited services from the sheriff's office. Deputies responding to high priority calls like robberies or homicides, but not thefts, trespassing, burglaries, or other lower priority calls. Plus, the city will have to pay the bill to compensate the taxpayers in unincorporated areas who fund the sheriff's office services. But long term,
they're going to have to either reestablish their police department, which is going to take a lot of time, or they contract with the sheriff's office to provide services.
So is this a safety concern for the citizens of Mabton?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They pay taxes to the city for these services, and they're not being delivered.
The mayor hasn't responded to requests for comment, but the Mabton City Council is holding their final meetings tonight and will be there continuing to push for answers. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Emily, thank you. Camilla Lee George is asking the community to help her family after her brother was murdered last Monday on the Yakima Nation Indian Reservation. 42-year-old Calvin Bud George Jr. was shot multiple times in front of his Wapato home. He leaves behind 4 children and 3 grandchildren. Camilla started a GoFundMe hoping to raise $15,000 to cover funeral costs. Yakima Tribal Police are still working with the FBI in Seattle to investigate. Turning to news in Richland, it has been more than 3 weeks since a man was shot and killed in the Uptown Alley. Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald spoke to the brother of Michael Perkins, who says he wants to push the issue so other people in the same situation can get help.
Well, he's your typical brother. He's got a bad habit of jumping into situations that he shouldn't to try and protect people, and you see how that ended.
Michael Perkins, a father of 2, died on November 16th in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland.
We know that he was trying to either protect or help somebody that was involved, but still we're trying to follow up on all that information from those that were present.
According to court documents, Michael tried to stop another man from taking a woman's jacket. That man, Isaiah Rodriguez, now accused of shooting Michael and killing him. Rodriguez was later arrested in Portland. According to Stephen Perkins, Michael's brother, right before he ended up at the Uptown, Michael was hanging out at his place.
Well, he suffers from schizoaffective disorder, so when I went to bed, he was still arguing with the voices in his head.
Perkins says his brother was homeless and had been for nearly 3 years. Due to his disorder, he had trouble finding a place to live.
The only thing I'm really trying to do is push the issue and make a big stink about it so other people in my brother's situation might be able to get help.
Commander Mason with the Richland Police Department says in any case where the situation is getting out of hand, call 911. For people struggling with homelessness, Commander Mason says there are resources available.
So right now, in particular, we have warming centers, such as a library is a warming center, so you can go there. If you need immediate assistance, always call 911 for assistance. For housing, we have several facilities that are available. There's a shelter in Pasco, or the Mission in Pasco. We also have other opportunities or abilities to get people in contact with churches or nonprofit groups that can provide assistance as well.
While the case is still under investigation, there are some questions that may never get answered.
Why do you have to stay around to kill my brother? That's one of my questions.
In Richland, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
Okay, Riley, RPD says more people may be arrested in the case, and it is still an ongoing investigation. Well, the city of Pasco's budget for 2025-2026 was officially passed at Monday night's city council meeting. The vote was 6-1 in favor. The city says without sufficient reserves, there will be the risk of inability to meet payroll and/or pay claims in a timely manner. The need for new funding may be necessary for existing services, but not expanded services. Some of the budgetary reductions will include limited community events, a pause in implementation of new programs and positions, reviewing open positions, and reassigning roles. Councilman Leo Perales was not happy about this new news.
I just think the decisions from past councils have put us on a path that obviously needs to be course corrected, but I can't in good conscience sit here and rubber stamp this tonight. Hiring hundreds of people 2 years ago and not understanding that we need to find revenue to pay for those individuals was a misstep.
The city also brought up the fact that the 23-24 budget was unsustainable and a request was made for the budget adoption. So as of now, the budget will be reduced by a total of $5.8 million. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now live at 6, a Washington State professor is celebrating after he gets a Nobel Prize. And as we leave you to break, here's a live picture from Kennewick. Stacey Lee tracking your Tuesday First Alert weather forecast. Don't go anywhere.
If you have an injury claim and are considering a settlement with the insurance company, make sure you're compensated for every element of damage you're entitled to. Don't be tempted to accept a quick holiday settlement.
From Apple Valley News Now, here's your 2-minute take.
Welcome to your 2-minute take. I'm Jason Valentine, coming from Lifetime Dental Care in Richland, and I have Dr. Audra Morgan with us. Doctor, how are you today?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Well, I love being here at Lifetime Dental Care. Now, we've heard of Botox being used for personal appearance reasons, but Botox can also be used in dental applications. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So a lot of times we have patients that come in that have problems with clenching and grinding.
Sure.
They might talk about having temporomandibular joint disorder. Those are all situations that we can treat with a little bit of Botox.
Okay. How so?
So Botox works by going in and temporarily paralyzing the muscle. So in a lot of those cases, it's a muscle that's causing the discomfort. So if we can paralyze it, we can shrink that muscle, or we can shut it off for a little bit. And it helps kind of reset the body so that they don't experience the discomfort anymore.
Again, I've gone through TMD before, so any relief from that is great. So who would be a good candidate to come in and get the Botox treatment?
Anybody.
Really?
Over the age of 18,
okay,
that feels like they're having pain that's not being helped with other appliances or mechanisms. A lot of times we hear Botox being used with the female patient, but men benefit from it also.
Yeah, so for either one. So you can get more information at their website. It's again lifetimedentalcare.tricities.com. And again, we have the experts here who can guide you through the trials and tribulations of getting your teeth healthy. Thank you so much for your time, Doctor.
Thank you.
All right, and that is your 2-minute take.
Why do people come to the University of Washington? They come here to find people who will inspire them, move them, change them. They come to solve big problems and prepare for careers where they can make a difference. They come to cheer on their Huskies in the greatest setting in college football. If you want to change the world, this is where you start. For passion, for possibility, be boundless.
Life can be hard. With Culligan, your water doesn't have to be.
Did you know that even in hazardous driving conditions, the same rules of the road apply? This means you should never follow too close or drive too fast for conditions. This wintertime message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
Welcome back, everybody. David Baker, professor of biochemistry at the University of Washington School of Medicine in Seattle, received the 2024 Nobel Prize in Chemistry during an awards ceremony in Sweden today. Baker directs the UW Medicine Institute for Protein Design as an investigator of the Howard Hughes Medical Institute. He was born in Seattle in 1962 and attended Seattle Public Schools. The awards ceremony is part of Nobel Prize Week. In 2003, Baker's lab used computer-based methods he had developed to design from scratch a protein not found in nature.
And indeed, in all living things, proteins are carrying out, they're basically the miniature machines that are carrying out all the important functions. And they evolved over hundreds of millions of years or billions of years to be really perfect at solving the problems that arose during biological evolution.
The monetary prize for Baker will be about $500,000. The prize is awarded from income generated by estate investment funds that Alfred Nobel established in his will. Hey, look at this. The beaches are empty in Malibu as a wildfire tears through swaths of Southern California's iconic coastline, forcing residents to flee. For a time, the Franklin fire burned through an area larger than 5 football fields every minute after igniting late last night. The inferno is so intense that it is altering the weather around it and worsening conditions already experienced. Now, the fire's footprint exploded from 100 acres at 11:54 p.m. Monday to nearly 2,600 acres before noon today.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And it's been hot and dry there, and they're experiencing Santa Ana winds. Those are the winds that come from the east to the west versus coming off the coast inland. So that's what's going on in Los Angeles. All right, dust devil sky cam tonight in Pasco, 33 degrees. Visibility good. We still have the low clouds. That fog is lingering, and it could really start to thicken up later tonight. We do have freezing fog advisories, though, for the Kittitas Valley, Ellensburg out to Mattawa. Even in Yakima, they've been seeing some ice fog this evening. We're seeing that falling tonight. And again, the foothills of the Blues. This will be the biggest impact tonight from Dayton all the way into Pilot Rock. Visibility right now down to 4 miles in Yakima. Better than it was earlier today. Down the valley, lower valley into Sunnyside into Tri-Cities looking good. But again, we're kind of socked in right here between Pendleton, Walla Walla, Milton, Freewater tonight. And that will continue. Here's our futurecast fog looking socked in there, and we're going to stay that way. Here's early tomorrow morning. Looking pretty good in the Columbia Basin Tri-Cities on this model, but it's going to stay pretty foggy there through Wednesday. As we get through Wednesday night into Thursday, more fog right in our famous location. So expect another advisory in the coming days in those regions. So that's been our biggest problem. Here's the weather pattern coming in. That first big system coming in. This is System 1. It's going to bring lots of rain to the Oregon coast and into the Central Cascades in Oregon. Then it's going to make its way up as this low pressure system moves across the area. Here's are freezing precipitation or maybe rain mixed with snow with rain on the other side. Now that's the big concern as we get into our late Wednesday, Thursday. Here's Friday. The next system moves in, and that one could eventually be another bomb cyclone headed our way. Futurecast shows the freezing rain possible right down here early Thursday morning from Sunnyside to the Tri-Cities. We're looking at possible snowflakes between Ellensburg and Yakima. And then as the morning progresses, we could see some freezing rain here in the Columbia Basin, Tri-Cities, all the way into Walla Walla. That could impact your morning commute on Thursday, so be aware of that. That system moves out, but we got another one lining up as we head closer to the weekend, and that's going to bring some heavy mountain snow across the Cascades and our passes. Here's our temperatures tonight. Once again on the chilly side. Tomorrow's daytime highs tiny bit warmer than today, but not much of a deviation from the overnight lows to the daytime highs. There's the fog. Here's our overcast conditions. Slight chance of rain. Again, freezing rain. That will get updated as we move along. Here's what it goes in Yakima. Again, the fog. We've got those cloudy overcast conditions. Those models will start to catch up and update. We're looking at more rain as we head from Saturday, to Monday in the Yakima area. Here's what it looks like in Ellensburg. Very cold there as well. Fog. Could see some snowflakes developing late Wednesday into Thursday morning. We're looking for a wintry mix possible in Walla Walla Thursday morning as well. And here's what it looks like in Hermiston. Again, fog, breezy winds and rain. A little bit warmer here in the Hermiston area, so less chance of that mixed precip. But again, active weather for the next couple of days. The fog and freezing fog is real tonight, so drive safe out there. Watch out for that black ice. Stay with us. More Apple Valley News Now at 6.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Winter is here, and your snow clearing game needs to be strong. Don't let Old Man Winter slow you down. Get your snowblower ready for the season with our snowblower tune-up. But hurry, this deal melts away on December 20th. And don't forget your lawnmower. Our Ride-On Deluxe service is just $299.99. Includes parts, pickup, and delivery. Get your mower ready for a smooth start in 2025. Come see us in West Richland or visit us online at libertylawnandsaw.com.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
Vegas action is closer than you think. The fun is waiting for you at Nob Hill Casino. Come in and pull up a chair at your choice of blackjack, pie gow, heads up hold'em, or high card flush, and play with the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club to take your game to the next level and earn rewards for food, bowling, prizes, and cash. There's always a spot for you at Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Hey, babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE? Clue is get 4 of these for free with 4 lines for $90 a month at US Cellular.
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes? I love these free phone flakes.
Hey, Dad, 4 free phones.
Each serving has 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks.
Oh.
They're right behind me, aren't they? Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. US Cellular.
I'm JJ. I'm Tyler. We're with Kiona Vineyards, and we're here at Yokes Fresh Market. Our grandparents planted the first vineyard on what would become Red Mountain. Some of our legacy cultivars include Cabernet Sauvignon, Lemberger, and Chenin Blanc. The Lemberger is really exciting, right? It has really high red and blue fruit profile to it. We are a big little winery. Yokes has been a beautiful match for us culturally.
Check out Kiona Wines at Yokes Fresh Market.
Should we take a look at it? What do you think?
So here...
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $500 off your tub or shower remodel.
And welcome back. Tonight we fly the northwest and we'll head to the Palouse.
The Milwaukee Road Bridge has stood on the edge of town for more than 100 years. The rumble of trains that once crossed it faded into history more than 40 years ago. Built in 1915, it replaced the original wood trestle and has a very unique design for a railroad bridge. The Milwaukee Road used the concrete arch design because it had to cross over a rival railroad and the state highway. The bridge is actually two spans, one consisting of one arch over what is now the Spokane-Spangle-Palouse Railway. The other has four arches over Pine Creek and what is now Rosalia Road, formerly Highway 195. You can take an adventure of your own across the bridge now. It's part of the Palouse to Cascades Trail State Park. The trail can be accessed at several spots on the outskirts of Rosalia. In all, the trail is 250 miles long. It's good for hiking, mountain biking, and watching for birds or other wildlife. From above the Palouse, Brian Neal.
And a quick look at our viewer photo of the day, thanks to Dee from Walla Walla. Keep those coming in. QR code right side of your screen, applevalleyNewsNow.com.
We are ending early because it is time to
unleash the Kraken. That's coming up next.
Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Good night.